lot of souls right now. I really want to get those to Logan. We do end up in, like, basically waist-high water here, and I think that for safety's sake, I am going to equip the Rusted Iron Ring. May cost us some rolling, which, you know, may be the death of us, but better safe than sorry, right? The real problem with all this darkness is it makes it very difficult to pick out dark wraiths, and I am certain that that is intentional. Try jumping. No, I'm good. Thanks though for the great advice. Kind of try to stick to higher ground here. This is definitely one of the tougher parts. This is kind of a gauntlet area here. And the reason for that is that we're actually coming up on where the boss door is. Granted, I can't quite remember where the dark wraiths actually are. One has found me, though. That's good. Nope. At least with the Zweihander, we can get them in a stun lock combo. There's a reason that this is one of the best weapons in the game, and the amount of hit stun that you have on it is just ridiculous. We come over this way. Oop, I think we found another one. Maybe. It's hard to tell. Like, the Dark Wraiths make noise, but of course we're wearing clinky armor as well, so I kind of have to, like, stop moving because it's so dark sometimes. We also kind of see what is clearly a walkable path out here. And if you pop this doorway real quick, you actually get into a fight with another Dark Wraith on a bridge. I really like that. It's like, oh, I found a secret. Oh, fuck. You know, like, it plays with expectations, and I really like it for that. Goodbye. You notice there is still some water around here. We haven't, you know, lowered everything completely. What was this Dark Wraith guarding? A Titanite chunk. These are the final weapon ascension kind of thing. If we pop over here, we see it's basically the better version of the large Titanite chunk. You get up to plus 14 with it, and the slab is for the final one. Titanite chunk for weapon reinforcement. Not found outside Lordran. Reinforces standard weapons to plus 14, crystal lightning weapons to plus 4. With the discovery of chunks in Lordran, the race to locate the legendary slabs has begun. But could they be mere myth? I'm gonna say probably not. Call it a guess. Alright. I'm actually surprised at how well this is going. I usually eat at least a few really stupid deaths to the Dark Wraiths. And I admit, this is hubris to say that right now, but, you know. It's some cracked red-eye orbs down here, and now we found these associated with Petrus, actually, but it's worth rereading this. Because it's an online play item, you use it to invade other players. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire humanity. The cracked red-eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate this ability, normally limited to the Dark Wraiths of Cath. So we get that the Dark Wraiths here are basically they're the ones who do invade. They are the invaders that you find, and anything else is really just, you know, like anyone else who does it is really just imitating them. They are the originals. Which ties in the online features and the actual, you know, game itself very, very well. I like that a lot, that it does that. Anything down here? Ugh, we do hear another one of those slime things. Just kind of off in the distance. It's really creepy that way. And we actually have almost made a round all the way back to the drakes that were over here. And that is the Valley of the Drakes out there, just for the record. That said, we can't actually do much with this over here. You can get back to the elevator, and that's actually, you know, a perfectly reasonable thing to want to do. But there is one last place for us to visit here. And for safety's sake, I'm just going to spoil that there are ghosts in this room. Just when you think you're safe towards the end of this area, you actually have one last room with ghosts, and if you let it take you by surprise, God help you. Especially because Dark Wraiths are also in this room. And a giant slime thing. Several Dark Wraiths, in fact. Luckily, we could kind of abuse stairs a little bit. I am really surprised to see that thing out here. I didn't realize it would aggro that far, huh? Oh. It's like that guy totally should have gotten me there. Oh god. Ow. Boy, that thing camping the door is a bit annoying, isn't it? That said, slime creatures have historically been quite weak to fire, and we did just happen to upgrade our pyro hand a little bit, so let's see if that does anything any better. Well, it's not great, but it's certainly safer. And it certainly does seem to be having an effect on it. It said I certainly don't want it to hit me with that. Dumped all our fireballs into it. Bait this out. Combustion is actually extremely fast if you just need to get something down. If we were really upgrading our pyro hand, combustion would actually be one of the best things for it. Let's see, anything else in this room want to kill me? I mean, the answer is probably yes, if we're being real. Here. Here. Aw, thanks, folks. I thought there were ghosts in this room. I could be wrong. I actually know, I believe the ghosts are actually upstairs as part of the rest of the level, and if you kill them, they won't show up here. But if you're running through and you kill them, and you don't kill them, they, like if you're running through this area again and you haven't killed the ghosts that spawn up top, they will show up in this area and make that whole fight even more complicated. That's what it is, and that's another sort of like side effect of these ghosts being like, you know, able to traverse 3 dimensions. Hello. Their reach with their swords is also quite good. Like that stab that he had there is one of the farthest reaching ones for like a sword wielding enemy. We're kind of chumping on them, but the Dark Wraiths are pretty strong, honestly. We come over this way and we find the ruins of the street path here. You know, it's easy to forget with how fallen apart this is that this really was just a bustling town that even talks about having its own culture. Like, the item descriptions basically put it on par with a nation state. But we come all this way over, and I'm gonna guess this says need ring. Somehow I'm not surprised. Whoops. Slip down here. I believe we're actually back in the Valley of the Drakes area here. Oh, no, we're back where that one Dark Wraith was guarding near the cracked red eye orbs. And, actually, we've pretty much cased the place now, because that up there was the boss door, and if we haven't gone and, you know, seeked out Artorias, it'll get us very killed to walk into that door, because we can't traverse the abyss. So I guess we're actually just gonna have to leave the, climax of this area that went shockingly smoothly. I have to be honest. I was not expecting that to go as good as it did. For another time. For some time later. For now, good night, New Londo. Your 4 kings will have to be put to rest at a later date. For being one of the later areas in the game, New Londo Ruins really is one of the most strongly designed ones, and I really, really like it for that, you know? The fact that it doesn't have a boss fire is going to make that eventual boss quite a problem if we die to it, but beyond that, it's really, really good in that way, you know? I feel like it does everything that it wants to do as far as storytelling and even level design are concerned. Let's pretty ourselves up a little bit, just because I'm that kind of person. I'm so vain. I guess I'll drop these souls off back with Logan, because we do have a bunch of, like, item souls that we can also feed in to buy most of the rest of his spells, actually. We might be able to do that now. Let's warp out to Duke's Archives. Oh yeah, you can warp back to the bonfire at Seath's, like we're in Seath's boss room if you're really feeling saucy. I don't know why you'd do it, but you can. I won't stop you. Maybe you want to farm Moonlight Butterflies or something. I don't know. Pop over to Logan's, see how he's doing. The answer is probably not that well, but hey. This one's the 5,000 one, so just pop 2 of those. We do still have this Firekeeper soul that we'll want to drop off with one of the Firekeepers. And it'll actually segue quite nicely into the next area now that I think about it, because now that we've pretty much cleaned out New Londo, even though we haven't finished the boss, there's only one real Lord Soul area left to go to, and it's a doozy.
Oh, there you are. It's been a while. Or were you just here? This fascinating place defeats my sense of time.
Logan's still certainly having some trouble here. Okay, we have... It's 40,000 more souls, and I think I can do that.
Come again. The knowledge here is...
It's, yeah, let's just burn some big souls. Might as well. I mean, I've been holding these, like, Souls of a Brave Warrior and large Souls of Brave Warriors. That'll easily get us to the last 40,000, I believe. I'm hitting each of these from the menu. I would actually strongly recommend, if you're going to be burning a bunch of souls, I can words, that you equip them yourself. Later games made this much easier. You can burn any number of souls from the item menu itself. But this game, such big advances in video game design had not yet been made, so kind of stuck like this. Oh well, one more should do it.
Oh, there you are. Oh,
Purchase these spells. You'll notice this is all he has, so after this, we have gotten rid of everything of Logan's. He's still having some issues.
Anytime you please.
He's still kind of holding on to lucidity, but now that he's taught us basically everything that he knows, you know, is there much left for him? I don't know. Perhaps we should go check on him. After very covertly resetting the area with Bonfire. I may have not hit triggers right, but I guess we'll see.
Who are you? Stay clear of my work. Curses upon you. How dare you disturb me?
Definitely not doing so great, Logan.
Who are you? Stay clear. Curse.
Now, I'm not sure if I have to get him to move on here. But there is one last thing left, now that he seems to have lost us completely. And again, as I've said, the same way that Seath the Scaleless became lost, Logan seems to have lost himself in this knowledge, and he's become more paranoid, more, you know, he's forgotten everything. He doesn't seem to have much time left.
Who are you?
Let's see. We're gonna make a trip, and it's either gonna work out great, or it's not gonna work out at all. Especially because I have to get through these fuckers again. I suppose I could look to upgrade this Y-hander, but... You know, make these guys die in one hit instead of two, but we're a bit committed now. Ah, got the double hit. I like that enemies actually shield break the same way that you do. It's a nice touch. Kind of, it's one of the things that makes the game feel more quote-unquote fair than it actually is. Let's see, yeah, I think we have to actually hit the switch for this. Definitely a switch around somewhere to bring this down. Oh, it was up there, wasn't it? Ow. Now, I hope I don't embarrass myself again, but I certainly might. There we go. Lever-based invincibility frames. That's my shit. Think this is safe? Yeah. Well, never mind. Jesus. I don't want any of this. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Probably spend the rest of these souls on Homeward Bones again. Surprised at how often I'm running out, but I guess I am trying to be efficient here. Well, efficient on time, less so on resources. So hey, Seath's dead. Why don't we just check his room out real quick? Again, I have no idea if this is going to make him spawn properly. We may need to reset the area. Oh right, there is a crystal lizard here. Get out of here. Forgot we didn't get that last time, because I was too worried about getting attacked by other things. I'm not sure I'd call it amazing. We do come in here, and it seems a lot of it has broken off. And you actually see that this, like, atrium here had, you know... This is, you know, just another part of the library that we fought Seath in. This is actually one of those places that people don't necessarily notice a lot of the details of. But we see this, like, obsession with crystals sort of symbolically starting to override the, like, knowledge itself, you know? It's the obsession has taken over, has far outgrown literally anything that it originally started with, and I really like the way that that's sort of presented in this room, and how much love was put into this, when honestly, most players have, like, no reason to come back here. Oh god, this is such a great room. What I want to be here isn't here, for the record, but we'll make it work eventually. We do find the large magic ember just sitting in this chest here, so we now actually have we now have 3 embers to pass on to 3 different blacksmiths. So I guess I better get on that before we start making more progress. A lot of little side things to do, I suppose. Since the new Londo actually went much, much smoother than I was expecting to. Alright. Large magic ember. What am I doing? Ember required for weapon ascension. Large magic ember, a form of sorcery. Handled only by Vinheim magic blacksmiths. Ascends +5 magic weapon. Allows reinforcement at +10, the most powerful level for magic weapons. For most of these side blacksmiths, what you'll tend to find is that they have a main path, or like for most of these side weapons, you'll find they have a main path and a side path. So in the case of Andre, you have the +5 divine weapons, and then you can split into large divine weapons or occult weapons. And that's actually a recurring theme. Fire weapons, well, we'll get to those when we get to that place. But, the magic weapons also happen to have that. Just keep that in mind, really. Oh, we do have 5 homeward bones. What am I thinking? Yeah, so Logan is going to end up in this room. We'll check in on him later. He'll probably warp in once we reload the whole area, so... No rush, honestly. It is the end of his quest line, but we'll get there when we get there.